Hi everybody! Today we're helping out my mother-in-law at her garden, Lone Arbutus Farms, and we're going to be putting together some bouquets for their roadside stand for the weekend. So there's not a lot in the garden right now, but there are a few blooms that are blossoming, so we're going to go and collect them and get them prepped for tomorrow's bouquets. This is the garden that we have, a mixture of flowers. We have a row of snapdragons, some feverfew, zinnias are popping, which I'm loving seeing. Some cosmos over there, just a mix of flowers. This is where a lot of our filler flowers are grown. The other gardens where the dahlias are, and we'll go there in a minute, but we're going to cut some of the flowers that are already blooming and put them in buckets of water. So we've got some zinnias. They're an awesome workhorse for the summertime. Fun fact about me is that I'm pretty allergic to these guys. I get quite a bad rash on my arm when I touch them, but we do it because we love them in the bouquets. So take one for the team. With zinnias, we like to do a wiggle test. If you wiggle it and the head doesn't wiggle like crazy, then it's good to pick. That way it's not gonna flop when you put it into the bouquet. Sipping some cosmos. They're one of my favorite flowers to work with because they're super dainty and pretty. They also create a lot of movement. And I just love them.
What are these ones left?
Oh, I broke it. These are snapdragons. I think they're called apple blossom. Janice is gonna have to correct me on that if I'm wrong. They're really pretty pink. And yeah, my mother-in-law does something called succession planting. So what was it, 3 years ago we planted a bunch of snapdragons and they just exploded, and then we didn't have any snapdragons for the rest of the summer. But she's planted them in stages, so when they pop up, we have one batch, and then when that batch is done, another batch will be popping up, so we'll have them hopefully throughout the season, which is great. I know not everybody's a fan of snapdragons, but I do enjoy working with them, especially for roadside stand bouquets. Like, they just create a little bit of a nice look, a little bit more structure. This is stock. It's a very fragrant flower. Also one of my favorites to use in bridal bouquets and bridesmaid parties, just because they add a lot of like a base to the bouquet, and then you can kind of add on it, if that makes sense. They're really pretty, they smell really nice, and they just add like a really nice texture. But something that kind of new, we grew it I think last year as well, but a lot more this year, which is nice. If you're wanting to grow a very whimsical flower, this is called Nigella. I love the leaves on it. It's really pretty, and the nice thing too is when you do lose the flower, it still looks nice. It has like grows this like little pod, so that's fun. And then we also have feverfew, really nice filler flower. I don't know if I love the scent of it, but it has a scent. It's kind of grown on me over the years. I think when I first started working with it, I didn't like it, but now it's just, I don't know, not the worst. It's also one of my least favorite flowers to process. So I already picked some sunflowers. Yeah. Again, I'm pretty sure she's succession planting with those as well, but we all know I love sunflowers, so they're great. I'm gonna grab some of this catmint. Nice little filler. We're gonna go and grab the dahlias now. We only have a few that have popped so far. Something I will need to grab is Lysol wipes. It's important to wipe snips after each time you snip from a different plant in the dahlia garden, just because there is a disease called gull that can be spread between plants, which we don't want. And if the dahlia does have gull, we don't want to spread it to other dahlias, so we just try to keep things really sanitary within the garden. These are a collarette. Still a type of dahlia, but has a nice like star shape. They're a little bit more dainty, a little bit. They don't last as long, but they are a really nice little flower to put in. So since this is from the same plant, I don't have to sanitize in between cutting. If we were in a different plant, then I would sanitize my snips, but we're good on this one. Another collarette, really pretty. Actually, the white ones do last they have a good vase life, which is good. That's it for the dahlias right now. They really haven't popped yet, but they are on the verge. We're gonna collect a little bit of greenery to fill up the bouquets a little bit more and then pop them in the cooler. This is a lilac tree. I like using it because it's a really nice green leaf that makes really good greenery in the bouquets. You got a couple buckets of balloons. We'll be able to put together a few bouquets for the cart for this weekend. We're gonna pop these in the cooler and see you when we're designing them. Okay, it's morning. I let the flowers hydrate overnight in the cooler. I also picked some of these like daisy mums that we have in our garden to add to the bouquets. I'm gonna build a few bouquets and then we're gonna go back to the farm to wrap them and stamp them with the Lona Beautis stamp and put some flower food in. And then we're gonna put them on the cart and out for the morning and put the signs out as well. So we're gonna build the bouquets. When I'm wrapping the ends, not wrapping, sorry, putting elastic on, I put the elastic on one stem and then you wrap it around and connect it back on the stem. And there you go. Makes it a lot easier than just kind of wrapping it the normal way. But here's one. I'm gonna put it in a bucket with water and then we'll wrap it when we get to the farm. And we'll do the rest. I think I'll probably do maybe four of them, but we'll see. We start the cart. It's my mother-in-law and father-in-law's property and business called Lona Beautis Farms. My mother-in-law is very much a green thumb and she's an amazing grower. And yeah, in the summer times, we like to help out when we can, doing bouquets when we can, and yeah, it's a good time. Friends would know, but people that are watching that don't know me, I didn't get flowers weren't the choice that I really was going to make in life. I got my degree in fisheries and aquaculture, got my bachelor's of science 6 years ago, I guess now, 2020. Anyways, Not doing that now. But I started helping out at a farm called Lanceville Flowers down in Lanceville with Jenny. She's amazing. I still buy from her for weddings, and we have remained good friends over the years. But I started doing flower or like bouquets for her garden, helping her garden in 2020, and yeah, kind of inspired us to get started on our own thing, because around then is when my in-laws bought this property too. So she's really helped us throughout the years with planning and buying and chatting. But yeah, we're all learning. We're all learning. Very strict. There we go. All right. I'm gonna go in and have some breakfast with my fam, and then we're gonna go back to the farm, wrap these bouquets, and put them on the cart, and hopefully they will sell. All right. Location change. This is actually my old studio where I did a lot of my work over the last 2 years, but we moved this year, so the studio is now in the garage. This is where my mother-in-law is building her stuff now. Well, she was last year too, but anyways, we'll start wrapping these bouquets. Got the stamp. There's one. We got these packs of flower food. I'm gonna staple them on as well. This side. 2 bouquets. All right, 4 bouquets are wrapped and ready, and we're gonna go and put them on the cart. All right, we've got our flowers to put on the cart. The address, if you're wanting to grab a bouquet anytime this summer, is 2174 Grafton Avenue. We have bouquets on the stand from Wednesday through Sundays, and it goes until flowers run out at around October. So here they are. We're good to go, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.